right. Let's start with the welcome, and then we'll do the Land O'Lakes. So you want to learn Ojibwe language and culture. You've come to the right place, need you to learn about it all. Welcome to NanaBOOZHOO, the podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. BOOZHOO, NanaBOOZHOO, the podcast about Ojibwe language and culture.
BOOZHOO! And welcome back to the show. Welcome back to BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO, the podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. I am Natasha, and today our Ojibwe word of the day. You call it butter. We call it milk grease. Doo-doo shaboo bimate. Doo-doo shaboo bimate. Milk grease or butter. Brought to you by your friends at Land O'Lakes. Aki, land. Zaga-iganin, lakes. Land O'Lakes. Now, please welcome NanaBOOZHOO. Take it away, baby.
Thank you so much, sweetheart. Hey, everybody. The lovely and talented Natasha.
Nah, get out of here.
All right. Big show tonight.
Yep, big show.
How you guys doing? Hey, Zagame's here, sweetie.
Zagame, BOOZHOO, Zagame.
Should we give her a gold star?
Gold star for Zagame.
How you doing? Today is a Ojibwe language and culture podcast. I gotta admit, I'm kind of nervous about the show.
Why are you nervous?
I don't know. I just am. I can't. It's not even logical.
Are you afraid we might get down there and no one's gonna like us?
Not really. I kind of feel like we could do almost anything, and they'll be like, "Yeah, that's kind of funny." But I wanted to sort of do a dry run. This is sort of a dry run of what people can expect if they come to the show tonight. I'm going to pretend this is a rehearsal for tonight. So, for anybody who doesn't know, we're going to be in Little Falls, Minnesota, at 7 o'clock tonight at the Great River Arts Center. The BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO podcast is going live with Natasha and Michael Lyons. And we'll probably bring the boys along. And Michael's going to bring his guitar and his harmonica. And we're just going to, talk to the people. And so I think a lot of it's probably going to be sort of an introduction to what this show is. So let's begin today. If you're new to this show, my name is NanaBOOZHOO. And on our show about Ojibwe language and culture, we like to start the show by remembering the day of the week. We come on live every day at whenever.
Yeah, I know. We're on Indian time.
Yeah. Ideally, we shoot for 8 o'clock in the morning. But wow. We've been coming on just late sometimes not till like 10 o'clock.
I know, but the water pipes have been freezing and stuff.
Yeah. There's been a lot of this like maintenance stuff that has to go around to here. We filmed our show from Bemidji, Gamug, from Bemidji, Minnesota. north central Minnesota. We're sort of in between Red Lake and Leech Lake reservations. We're southeast of Red Lake. No, we're southeast of Red Lake, south and just sort of west of Leech Lake by about 10 miles. And, but today is the fourth day, Thursday, and in Ojibwe, we say, Neo, geez, you're good. Because you see, children, back in the days of the grandfathers, your ancestors, the Ojibways, they spoke a different language. And Natasha and I and Michael, it actually started with Michael. So, back in the days of, I don't know, the 2000 and, what do you suppose, was it 2022 now? Like in 2018 we started the show? Yeah, we started doing short videos in 2018. But I was doing the comic strips for a couple of years before that. So Michael Lyons is a rock star cartoonist. He sings songs, he plays guitar, and he draws cartoons. And came up with a big plan to teach Ojibwe. Oh, he's also a Ojibwe language teacher. He taught Ojibwe for 3 years at a school in Bemidji. But he really loved to draw, and so he came up with a comic strip called OJIBERISH by Michael Lyons. And this was an illustrated introduction to Ojibwe mowing. Mino gigaje bajidamu, says the son. And Ajidamu says, Mino gigaje, Jesus. And then down here you can read, oh, good morning, squirrel. Good morning, son. And you get a little cartoon, with a talking sun and a talking squirrel. And this was Michael's comic strip. So he started sharing it on Facebook, made a couple of music videos on YouTube with his cartoons and that. And then people started writing in saying, hey, that's cool. But how do you say that? That Ojibwe, it's got a lot of weird, you got dashes and double I's and weird stuff. How do you pronounce that? And so we had this big idea. Why don't I come on here and I can pronounce the word of the day? Minnow gigajebe. Minnow. As in like a little fish. No, that's a different kind of minnow. Minnow, you can kind of read that. Giga. And then E's are pronounced A, like in the sound Ojibwe. We don't say Ojibwe. Unless they're little. Unless they're like Peter Dinklage. Yeah. Yeah. Should we talk about that? Yeah, let's just for a second. All right. Mino gigaje, bajidamu is, that means good, So we started the show where I'd come on and I would pronounce the word so people could read it and then hear it, what it sounded like. Ajidamu, gigajebe, Jesus. He's not saying, hello, Jesus. He's not talking to our Lord Savior Jesus. No. He's saying, Jesus. Mino gigajebe, Jesus. And so it began with a comic strip. Oh, and also Michael wrote some books. Like Dog and My Ingun and BOOZHOO Jidamo and stuff. Where like you could learn how to count to 10 in Ojibwe and stuff like that. But then the show was really, if I'm being honest, we were kind of like a commercial for Michael's books on Amazon.com. Click the link below. And then it turned into me. I started singing songs, like the song for Blueberry Pie. Everybody was always like, hey, can you teach us how to say blueberry pie? I hear it's really long. And I go, it's not that long. It's just Mina Bashki Mina Sagani Batuse Jagani Bakwajigan. There you go. And people are like, wait, we can't remember. That's too many words. It's just one word. Mina Bashki Mina Sagani Batuse Jagani Bakwajigan. Blueberry pie. But then I said, why don't we sing it? So, Natasha pulled out the old 6-string guitar. Pulled out the old Gitoji gun. And we played a song. And so tonight, Michael, you'll have to play that Blueberry Pie song. And you could probably talk about boarding schools and stuff too. All right, so let me get off track for a minute here. Hey, DJ Lace is here, sweetie. BOOZHOO, DJ. Mino Giga Jabe, DJ. Nice to see you. Let's get DJ the silver star.
Oh, I forgot to put up a gold star for Zagame.
Oh, yeah, and a gold star for Zagame. Zagame's like, I'm golden. Stay golden, Zagame. That's what not Johnny Depp.
No, Ralph Macchio.
That's what Ralph Macchio told C. Thomas Howell in The Outsiders. Stay golden. Stay golden, pony boy.
Yep.
And, oh, wow, here comes Jessica. Here comes Jessica. Here comes Jessica. Coming up on a rabbit trail. Can we get a bronze star for Jessica?
Sure. Good morning, Jessica.
How you doing? Jim Dunn's back. Mino gig tonight. Yeah, I hope so. I hope it goes well. Although speaking of Jessica, thanks for turning me on to Avenue Q. Although I suspect that Q stands for, that dirty word that, means sodomy. No. On Avenue Q, those guys don't even worry about the old, I was wondering about you tonight if you're going to be like crouching behind a table or something. And now I think you can just get on that stage and I'll just stand by you and we can tell people, whatever, just ignore him, Yeah. So that's kind of a relief. That'll make the show easier. Yeah. But yeah, thanks for sending that. But speaking of little gigs, so Peter Dinklage, I feel like I just said a swear, sweetie.
That's his name.
I know, but both his first and his last names are euphemisms for pajoggin.
Don't teach him pajoggin.
What? So, Pajoggin Dinklage, the little person, what we used to call a midget. Have you heard about this? He's taken exception to the remake of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Doesn't he approve of them having a Hispanic girl be Snow White?
No, he's cool with that. It makes no sense. And the character is called Snow White. She got the name because her skin was white as snow. So they bring some tan Latina. Hey, but whatever. No, that's not what he's offended by. He's offended by the stereotypical portrayal of dwarves in Snow White.
Because he's a dwarf?
Yeah. Because he suffers from a, what's it called? It's a defect. I mean, it's like having elephantitis. He has dwarfism. He's not a real dwarf, you guys. Dwarves are like elves. And, they're mythological creatures from Dungeons and Dragons and, The Hobbit and that. I mean, is he offended by hobbits? Does he think he's a hobbit?
I don't know.
So he's coming out like on behalf. Now he wants dwarves to be a protected class. No more stereotyping of dwarves. Dude, they came first. They named your birth defect after the mythological creature. You should really not use dwarf. That's kind of... I don't know what was wrong with midget.
Yeah, I know. They say the midget's like the N-word.
Yeah. Somehow I think it's safer to call people a midget than call them the N-word.
Yeah.
The N-word. Today's Sesame Street is brought to you by the letter N-word. I like how yesterday when Sylvester Stallone and I were talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger, Yeah. We kept on calling him Arnold Schwarzenegger N-word. I didn't want to get a strike.
Yeah, I gotta censor it.
But anyway, so tonight's going to be a lot of just talking about our show, what we do. And maybe telling some stories that I know the BOOZHOO crew has probably already heard. So I'll just do the short version for today's show. But today, so NANABOOZHOO, we're going on our second year of having a live 1 hour regular live stream. And it's been really fun. We've developed, I hope you guys don't mind if I talk about you. But we developed a little community of people we call the BOOZHOO crew, who show up with their makere mashkiki wabu, their black medicine water, their coffee, to just kind of say good morning, check in, and have a couple of laughs, maybe learn a word or two. Maybe, sometimes I'll talk about history the way I know it, but I always try to make it funny. Once in a while, people get annoyed with this channel for some reason, because it's the internet, I guess. When they show up, and I think they already have a preconceived expectation of what the show is. Like, I think more people have heard about the show than have actually watched the show.
Yeah, that's how we know we're famous.
Yeah, that's when you know you're famous. When already people don't like you, even though they haven't seen the thing they don't like about you. But people have heard that, oh yeah, there's this guy who's teaching Ojibwe he has a Ojibwe language class kind of, when he uses a puppet. And I resent that term puppet, frankly. You think I work for the Biden administration? No. But, and so I think they expect us to, once in a while, they're like, what is this? This isn't funny. Or they'll get mad at something I say because they don't expect Ernie and Bert to make a joke about Peter Dinklage.
Yeah.
So sometimes we're not kid show enough for people. They expect us to be Sesame Street. But I ask you, sweetie.
Yeah.
You think Sesame Street can turn up the volume on the fireplace?
No way.
That we're better than Sesame Street.
We're so much better.
And then some people are also like, this is stupid, because they think they think Michael is going to be Jeff Dunham. And so they're expecting a lot of like pre-written slapstick humor. And then for some reason, like I'll get into a conversation with Paul Stanley. Hey everybody, what's going on? Hey Paul, how you doing, NANABOOZHOO? Not too bad. You want to come to the show tonight?
You want me to come to the show?
I don't know. Your arm's going to fall off. I keep playing with you too much.
I know, we already got it taped on. But I'm ready to rock and roll all night and party every day.
Yeah, I know you are. Some people just don't get it. I don't know if I get it.
Yeah.
But, so then they call up, or they write, give us a thumbs down. Although I can't even see the thumbs down anymore.
Yeah.
But except for, a few, and I hate to just focus on the people that don't like us. Except for that, in the last year, maybe year and a half, our little YouTube channel, without the aid of having to buy any views or any subscribers or anything like that, without advertising even, our show I think we're almost at 3,000 now.
We might even have 3,000. I haven't checked.
3,000 subscribers, which translates into about 10 to 20 people show up here live time. But then, people watch later. So anyway, tonight anyway, what I'll probably do, I'm hoping we can somehow get our text up on the screen behind us.
I think ideally we'll just have like the set on the video thing, and then we'll be in live in front of it.
Yeah, exactly. But then if I can bring the computer and do like this kind of stuff, that might be cool.
Yeah.
So today's Ojibwe words of the day and phrase of the day. And just a little review. BOOZHOO. Hello. The show is called BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO. I'm NANABOOZHOO. BOOZHOO means hello, so in English it means hello, NANABOOZHOO. I didn't really plan that well enough.
What do you mean?
I really wish we had called our show just OJIBERISH.
I know.
I almost want to call it OJIBERISH with NANABOOZHOO and Natasha. Because everybody likes you better than me anyway.
That's not true.
It's totally true. But BOOZHOO means hello. And here's just some thoughts off the top of my head about the word BOOZHOO as pertaining to our culture, history. In French, the French word for hello is, if you're in Minnesota, they're going to say bonjour because they read it and they've never actually heard anyone speak French. But when you hear a French guy say hello in their language, they say BOOZHOO. So I don't know what that's about. Why is our word for hello sound exactly like the French guy's word for hello? And did you know this, sweetie?
What's that?
In France, the word for great spirit
Yeah?
is Guichet Manadou.
Get Manadou?
Yeah. Guichet Manadou in French is like the suave way of saying Gitchi Manadou. It's an Ojibwe word. There's some overlapping with French that I don't understand. Because, kids, back in the days of the grandfathers, the first white people, the first Chamokaman that the Anishinaabe met, and we called them Chamokaman because they had long knives. They had Chi Mukaman, a great knife. We saw that long knife and we were like, oh, wow. But I think a lot of the relationships, the first relationships we really had where we were trading with them were the French fur traders, the voyageurs, you know. Sometimes people just like to focus on all the ways that Native people and white people didn't get along. But there was a chapter there with the French and the Ojibwe especially, where amidst all the chaos and the strife and the wars and blah, 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 somehow all that thing, a French fur trader and Ojibwe, Anishinaabe Kwe, a Indian girl, you know, their eyes met and they fell in love. And then, you know, that's why so many Ojibwe families have French last names. You know, I also heard once that our sweat lodges, we borrowed the design from the Finlanders. We used to have little sweat lodges, and then we met the Finlanders, and these were like Nordic people, and they had a big old sweat lodge they called a sauna. And we were like, yeah, okay, screw our little one, let's have a big one. We'll have the whole family in here at once. You know, hey, Shelly Ham.
What'd Shelly do?
She gave us a super chat. No way! Me gwet, Shelly Ham. We got a $4 and a cup of coffee. We just got a cup of Joe.
Me gwet, Shelly.
Really appreciate it. You know, so there was a lot of people don't like to talk about this, you know, but you know how they talk about cultural appropriations? You know, some old aimer will see a hippie girl wearing braids and a feather in her hair, and he'll be like, hey, don't you steal our culture? That's an Indian thing. But then the Indians are like, as soon as we met white people, we're like, hey, nice beads. Let's start beading everything with these glass beads. I really like what the French guy, oh, what's this now? You got a flannel shirt? Yeah, man, I'm gonna put that on. Here, try these deerskin leggings. They look cool with your French shirt. You know, we just started swapping cultural stuff. We stole their technology when it came to guns, and I don't know. I get the impression that nobody likes to talk about just how much the Ojibways loved the French. You know, started smoking all the time. You know, drinking wine and smoking cigarettes. I mean, that sounds so French to me. Yeah. Anyway, so BOOZHOO means hello. And then in the Ojibwe way. So there always came a time when the French fur traders and that, they'd have to go back to France. Go get, we'd load them up with beaver pelt. And they'd give us, some guns. Maybe some knives. Maybe some pots and pans. Who knows? Some blazers. You ever see that old pictures of Indian people and those old black and whites? Yeah. And they'll be there in a headdress and a rifle and a Western blazer and then some Indian pants. Yeah. Kind of mix and match. Yeah. But anyway. So there'd come a time when the French would have to go back and the French guy would be like, in France, we say, what do they say in French to say goodbye? They say, au revoir. Au revoir? I don't know for sure. I think it's something like that. In French, we say, au revoir. But they asked us, what do you guys say? And we told them, in Ojibwe, there is no word for goodbye. We know we will see you again. When you run out of beaver pelts and you want to come and trade, whatever. So we don't say goodbye. We say, I will see you again. Gigawabamin. Minowa. Minowa means again. Gi is you. Or giga is I will. Or I want to. Giga. Whatever. Wabamin. Wabi is to see. In is the me. You, I will see. You see, will I again. Gigawabamin, Minowa. And these are just some, if you're new to this show, maybe you're new to Ojibwe language. Here's, these are good starter words. BOOZHOO. You can always tell those of us who are learning the language, when we first start learning, you can't start a sentence without saying BOOZHOO to somebody. Hey, BOOZHOO, BOOZHOO. BOOZHOO is also kind of an identifier. You see an old guy in a hardware store or something. He's got short hair and whatever, blah, blah, blah. Nothing, you wouldn't necessarily know that he was a Ojibwe until you see, he's got, Minnesota Chips softball jacket on. And you go, oh, that's an Indian guy. And so you say, hey, BOOZHOO. And Indian people are always happy when somebody recognizes them with their language. Hey, BOOZHOO. Never feel self-conscious about using the term BOOZHOO. Now, after a while, people will start saying, Anin. Anin is kind of hi, hey, sup, what's up? Yeah, what's up? What's up, doc? Anin mushkiki winini. What's up, doc? What's up, medicine man? And then we got miigwech. This is probably the most important Ojibwe word. Miigwech. Thank you. Miigwech. Miigwech. Got Iji Bamad Miigwech Wa'au Bamadazian. Thank you for my life. Gitchi Manado. Miigwech. Miigwech Bizandawi. Thank you for listening. Miigwech for the food, Grandma. Miigwech for my life. Miigwech. If you can learn to say thank you all the time, you start to feel it. And that's one thing I learned doing the show, actually. What's that? The cure for anxiety and depression. is doing a podcast. Well, that helps. But is gratitude. Miigwech wendem is our word for thankfulness, for gratitude. And it's not one of the 7 Anishinaabe values. I've never understood this. Anishinaabe, we'll get to that in a minute. But Miigwech wendem. If you ever get nervous, this is for the little guys and girls out there. That's another part of this show as an introduction. So we teach these words, right? And but also, we're talking for a whole hour. And sometimes I get around to telling stories about my life. I share stuff. About my grandma. About growing up in LaPorte. About what it was like in the 80s. Whatever. And occasionally, because I'm getting old and that way, I'll find myself giving advice to the younger people. I didn't know it would happen to me, but as you get older, you do become an elder. And as an elder, you kind of assume certain responsibilities. Like telling stories. Arazuke winini. And Arazuke is a story, a traditional Indian story. Arazuke winini would be a storyteller, a story man. And so I started telling stories, but I would also give advice to kids. And then I would tell a story. You know what? I used to have anxiety all the time. Depression, frustration, anxiety, worry. I didn't have panic attacks. I wasn't one of those people. I just had, long-term, low-grade dread of something bad happening all the time. Because I had no gratitude. I took everything for granted. There was something I wanted and I wasn't getting. So I didn't appreciate what I had. I could only focus on what I didn't have. But then, after I became an elder, I learned that if you say miigwech all the time, if you start feeling grateful for everything that you have, oh, look at this, I got a little fake fire. You know what? Yeah, okay, this is just a green screen trick. There's not really a fire here, you guys. I hate to burst your illusions. But it still feels like a fire. It sounds like a fire. It looks like a fire. I'm not cold. I'm not feeling bad I don't have a real fireplace. I'm grateful that I have a fake fireplace. I don't feel bad I don't have a real girlfriend. I feel happy that I have a fake girlfriend. What? You better watch your mouth, mister. No. You're real, baby. I know I'm real. But, so miigwech. So this is the trick. If you're getting worried about anything, write down your gratitude list. Write down things you're grateful for. And just keep going. When you get grateful, I won't tell you the whole long story about my vision quest. When I had a vision, when I fasted. And, okay, very briefly. Back in the days, the grandfathers had 3 dreams of Bigfoot. You gonna tell them that story? Yep. This is how I learned to have gratitude. And I went to my elder. He told me he wasn't a medicine man. But they all say that. Anyway, I went to a guy who knows a lot about traditional stuff. Jumbo. Jumbo Downwind. What a cool name, huh? Yeah, it really is. Jumbo. Anyway, rest in peace, Jumbo. So I went to Jumbo and I gave him tobacco. I said, Jumbo, odapanan niwi asema. Accept my tobacco, Jumbo. Sometimes in Indian country, it's not like the movies. The medicine man isn't necessarily going to have a name like Dances with Wolves or whatever. Wind in his hair. They might have a name like Jumbo. But, so he took the tobacco and goes, yeah, what can I do for you? And I said, I've had these dreams about Bigfoot, and I don't know what they mean. And I explained my dreams. And Jumbo goes, oh yeah, Bigfoot, Sabbe. He's a spirit, He never lets anybody see him, even in dreams. It's very special. So, here's what I want you to do. We're going to put you out in the woods. You're going to fast. Going to go on a vision quest and blah, blah, blah. And I was secretly going, oh no, what did I do? I don't want to go on a fast. What, are you out of your mind? That's no, I just want you to tell me what the dreams mean. That day I learned, don't ask a medicine man to analyze your dreams unless you're willing to go on a fast. Anyway, we worked out this thing where I was going to go out on a fast for a day long. 1 day fast. And he set up a spot out in the woods in a circle with tobacco and sage and stuff. He put up some tobacco ties in the trees in the 4 directions, the 4 colors, you know. And he gave me a pipe. He gave me an opwagen. And he put some tobacco in. And he goes, all right. And he smudged me down and he said a prayer. He goes, all right, I want you to stay in this circle. Okay, if you got to go to the bathroom, go ahead and leave the circle, but then come right back. And I'll come back out here after the sun goes down, and we'll go on a sweat. And off he went. So I'm sitting out there with my pipe, sitting all cross-legged, you know, Indian style. Were you sitting Indian style in your Indian circle? Yep, I was sitting in the sacred circle. And I thought to myself, wow, okay. Here's another little insight. This is just for the BOOZHOO crew. I'm not going to cry on stage tonight. Sometimes when I tell this story, I get choked up. It's weird. But I'm going to try not to cry when I remember the story. So I was sitting there going, I can feel it. This is weird, even when I start talking about it. It's so dumb. I was going to write a gratitude list. And I was learning about, you know, I could do stuff like, well, I'm glad I'm healthy. I'm glad I have enough money for rent. I'm glad I'm, you know, not in jail. I'm glad, you know. But this time I was sitting there early in the morning, not even hungry. It wasn't like I was having a blood sugar thing. It was, you know, it was like 4 a.m. or something. Just got out there. And I started to pray. Or I prayed a little bit, and then I was like, just listing my gratitude. And so I went, okay, number 1. Felt like I had all day to do this. Number 1. Well, I'm glad I can see. And just then, it chokes me up to remember the huge, something happened where I was overcome with gratitude. Just thinking about it blows my mind right now. All right, I'm okay. It really affects you, doesn't it? Yeah, I know. But it was like I experienced something where I truly understood the gift of eyesight. You know, if you lost your eyesight, nothing else would matter. You think you have problems, and then suddenly you went blind. You go, no, wait, I can't see anything. I'm not worried about, oh man, I sure want to buy that new flat screen TV. Oh, I sure hope that girl likes me. Oh, I sure hope I, do a good job at the show tonight. Nothing would matter except your eyesight. And I started to bawl. Just whatever, for like 20 seconds. And not cool crying. Not that Indian guy on that commercial about later with the one, tear. I wasn't like that guy. I was like a baby crying in gratitude to the Great Spirit for giving me eyesight. Calmed down, collected myself, dried my tears. And I went, okay, oh man, number 2, ready to freak out again. I went, I'm glad I can walk. And then I was fine. Really? You didn't cry? No. And then I listed 30 things I was grateful for. And for the rest of the day, I was fine. But something happened in that moment. And when I was in that circle, I can't explain it. A spiritual experience. So, I'll talk about that a little bit tonight. Another word, bindige. Bindige. Means come in. I'm kind of expecting that Little Falls is going to have the same problem that Bemidji had with their signage project?
What? By putting BOOZHOO next to welcome?
Yeah. Every town in Bemidji, they did the same thing. They wanted to put Ojibwe words in all the stores. And they'd have the English side to say, welcome, come in. And then the Ojibwe side would say, BOOZHOO. Okay. And I'd be like, well, it's nice. I understand what you're trying to do, but why can't you bother to look it up? Bindigane or Bindigay. Come in. That's if you have a store and you want an Ojibwe sign that says, come on in, shop here, Bindigay. It makes you look like you didn't care enough, not just, well, BOOZHOO, whatever. Hello, hi. If the English side door says hi, then great, use BOOZHOO. And on your way out, you can say miigwech for thank you, or gigawaba min minowa for I'll see you again. Y'all come back now here. Is how they'd say it in the South.
Yeah.
Bindigay, come in. And then this brings us to our final Ojibwe word of the day. Skoden. Skoden. If you're sitting in the Big Tap Bar and Grill in Cass Lake and you hear that sound of a bar stool screeching backwards, and you hear some old drunk say, Skoden, look out. That means there's going to be a fight.
Is that what that means?
Yep. That's the Ojibwe res slang for let us go then. Skoden. Sometimes it'll be followed by studis, which is the Ojibwe word for let us do this. Let us duel. Let us have our fists to cuffs. We will fight for our honor in this old bar in Cass Lake, Minnesota. Skoden, let's do this. What's another res slang?
Nah.
Yeah, nah. You're always doing that. Anytime somebody makes a joke, somebody will go, nah. Like, no. I know, I'm just kidding. That's what that means. Hoa.
Yeah, hoa. Sometimes people ask me, what does hoa mean?
Hoa is like, holy cow, Batman. Actually, I've heard that put this way. Hoa is the Ojibwe word for the Norwegian word ufta.
Is that what that means?
Yep. Whatever ufta means, hoa means that too. Dictionaries would be like, it means wow. Does it though? Wow. Wow. I guess it could mean wow. I don't know. Hoa. Depending on what your reservation you're from, sometimes people be like, hola or ola. I think when you get more down south, or like in Nebraska, they say ola. Add an L. Hoa. That's actually up in here, up in northern Minnesota, a lot of people just shorten even hoa to just ho. Oh, it's really cold out there. Ho is short for hoa. No, it's not that word. That's not respectful to ladies, you guys. Quit using that word. She's not a common garden tool. Ho is short for hoa. Hoa. Hoa, there's really a lot of politically correct words. Oh, and then that's the other thing. Sometimes people get confused and then annoyed with the show. Because I'll start, they show up, they're like, all right, I'm ready. Got my little pencil. Gonna learn a little Ojibwe. Maybe hear some stories about, the reservation. And then I go off talking about hoa and skoden and stuff like that. And people get impatient. Like, I'm not learning anything. Look, I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. This isn't an Ojibwe class, all right? It's a comedy show where we teach Ojibwe. And it's a comedy show that is funny. So no, it's not Sesame Street or The Muppet Show. It's not. I was trying to tell my mom, our show is G rated, but it's not PC rated. You know. And so some people would, get all offended, and you think you can't. I might make jokes about and on behalf of Adolf Hitler, just to shake things up. I don't know. I'll make Michael Jackson jokes or whatever. But I'll never say the Lord's name in vain. I'll never swear the real swear words, like the F word. I won't even say the SH word. I was raised by my parents, but I spent a lot of time with my old grandma. Boarding school, graduate Indian grandma, they didn't swear, you guys. In Ojibwe, we don't have swear words. Here's a little nugget of history. I think they were French Catholic priests or whatever, came to Ojibwe country in Wisconsin back in the day. And this guy wrote in his journal, he goes, the Ojibwe people are so peaceful and agreeable and friendly. They don't even swear. Even they never curse, and they don't even curse their God. They would never curse their God like everybody in English does constantly. OMG, I don't do that, but I might say nigger. I might say Arnold Schwarzenegger, nigger, just to keep things not PC. So yeah, I'd probably lose my G rating for that, And so some people are like, don't get it. And it's like, what is this now? No, we're not crank anchors. We're not, that's a different realm. I'm not that kind of humor. We're not even, I always say we're actually closest to, we're not even Labyrinth. But Labyrinth was more of an influence because he took the music seriously. It was actually people like us, but good Bowie music. Anyway. All right. So, let's go then. Let's go. And then, before I turn the show over to Natasha, the lovely and talented Natasha. You got that right, baby. Tonight we'll probably talk about boarding schools. And so, last word I have on this show, what we do and why we do it. Michael, you're probably going to have to talk about yourself more than usual. Yeah, you can do it though. Okay. So this show, Michael Lyons is the descendant of boarding school survivors. Both of Michael's grandparents went to the Flandreau Indian boarding school back in the days of the grandfathers. And sometimes, and he wrote a song about his grandfather's experience at Flandreau. His grandfather didn't like it, and he ran away 3 times by sneaking away at night and jumping on a train heading north to Bina. 3 times he was caught by the cops, and they'd bring him back to the boarding school. You'll have to explain what boarding schools were. I think the BOOZHOO crew kind of knows. Boarding schools, in a nutshell, it's the reason why we don't know Ojibwe. Our people, we lost our language during the boarding school era. It was just a couple of generations of taking the kids out away from the community, not allowing them to ever speak their language, and then full-on immersion English school you lived at, and it was like a Catholic school meets a military school. But 100% just native kids from all over the country would come to these big college-like boarding schools. Huge, but Michael's grandpa ran away when he was 14 years old. And he wrote a song called Home that you'll have to share tonight. Yeah. Let's not start with that, though. Why? Because it's so depressing? Yeah. Maybe we can close with Home. Anyway. So up next is Natasha. And this is Home by Michael Lyons. Miigwech biz and dawieg. The song is for my grandfather, Aubrey Lyons, who went to the Flandreau Indian boarding school. I was born in 1913 in the storm of 1913. But then at boarding school, I was nobody's fool. Down at Flandreau, I grew madder every day. That's why I had to run away. 'Cause this is no way to live. I wanna go home. I wanna go home. I wanna go home. But on a fateful day, me and my brother Ray, we planned our getaway. If we can make it to them tracks, we won't be coming back. We're gonna hop a train. I thought we got away, but then the cops came and took us back to a leather strap. But I wanna go home. I wanna go home. I wanna go home. I wanna go. I remember it still. I saw a whippoorwill out on my windowsill. How could I sit still? So I got right up and I walked right out. The teacher said to me, "Where do you think you're going?" Boy, I said, "I'm going home. I wanna go home. I wanna go home. Niwaki way, Niwaki way, ni waki way, ni waki way. BOOZHOO! How you doing? I forgot I was still wearing this. Ba-doop. Okay. Hi, sweetie. Did you make it out there okay? Yeah, I sure did. How is it? It's pretty. Yeah, huh? All right. Well, let me know you want me to pick you up. I will. So, this I would come out aguaching. That come outside. Natasha Nindisha cause. Natasha is my name. La 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 la. And I feel stupid wearing this thing. But I'm gonna leave it on anyway. Asema. Get you, Manadu. Tapanani we asema. Great spirit. Accept my tobacco. Dagawi duka wishin min away. Dibekuk. Please help me to speak well tonight. I don't know. Help me to be funny. Help me to think of the right thing to say. Please keep me from saying something Maya Nandak. Sometimes I get myself into trouble. I come from a long line of, people who sat in the back of the classroom and said smart aleck remarks. And sometimes I just, please help me get good laughs without having to, offend anybody. Just help me to speak well. Miigwech gaiji gakina keku gaiji chikea nungum. Thank you for everything you do today. Miigwech wa ba madaziyan. Thank you for my life. Miigwech gaiji indinaway magana dug. Thank you for my family, my relations, my friends. Thank you for the BOOZHOO crew. Thank you for taking care of us. Miigwech gaiji junia. Thank you for the money. I know I don't know. I've always been kind of taught, like, Indian people were not, like, beware of money. You shouldn't talk about money. You shouldn't ask for money. Don't be all about money. That's not very spiritual. That's materialistic, But sometimes it feels like answered prayer when we get support financially. And so I appreciate that. I appreciate the food and the house and the being able to pay for cat food. Gitchimanadu. Nusana Wakwing Abion. Great Spirit. My Father who art in heaven. Whatever you want to call yourself. Miigwech. Albamadazian. Thank you for my life. Apenge. Amen. So, yeah. I'm not really that nervous about tonight, tell you the truth. I decided I'm going to wear this headset because Michael's going to be wearing one. And I thought, well, that'll be kind of cute if we're both wearing a headset. I'm not sure. We're going to be a couple of telephone operators. Operator! Of course, I don't even have operators anymore.
Now, the only people who wear headsets like this are people who work at McDonald's. You want fries with that? Yes, I majored in English literature. What's your point? You want fries with that? That used to be a joke when I was in college. What does an English major say 6 months after graduation? You want fries with that? It was like that joke we all knew was true. Yeah, nice college degree you got there. What, are you going to be a poet? Are you going to write a poem? I was looking through something. It was I probably shouldn't mention this tonight. See, that's what I'm talking about. Saying dumb stuff when I'm trying to be funny. So I noticed I was at the casino the other night. And they had one of those magazines of the different towns. The little tourist guides. And one was for Little Falls. I went, great. I can pick up this little tourist guide to Little Falls and see what they have to say. And I'm looking through there and they have those like little articles about locals. And they had an artist in there. And it was some middle-aged guy and it said, master artist, so-and-so. Master? What's a master artist? Is that somebody with a master's degree? Oh, I'm a master artist. I went to college and I became an artist. Look at my diploma. I thought it was so funny. But the irony is that I kind of think of Michael as a master artist now. I mean, I know that's really not our way to talk like that. But like this guy went to college and became a painter and then had a couple of gallery shows. And it's like, oh, I mastered the art. The artist. Just a general artist, a person who creates art. Whatever that means. But nobody would think of it. But Michael is this rock star cartoonist. And what this show actually is just his cartoon. We were talking about this the other night. It's like, what is this show? Well, in a way, it's the final evolution, or the current evolution, of Michael's comic strips. When Michael was a little boy, he wanted to be a cartoon artist like Charles Schulz. And, incidentally, did you guys hear about this? The guy who played Charlie Brown, he killed himself. The actor with that weird voice. He's an old man now, and he killed himself after all these years. It's like, well, nice going, Lucy. You finally broke his brain. But anyway. But his comic strips, he always wanted to have something kind of funny, visually pleasing, artistically interesting. Something that spoke from him, He wanted reoccurring characters. He used to have a comic strip called Coffee House 5. They had 5 different characters that would show up every week and do funny little things. Michael even had a comic strip for a while in Grand Forks, North Dakota, called Prairie Rose. It was about a little Native American girl in glasses. I don't know whatever happened to her. And, it's like a one-panel comic strip. But then along the lines with the comic strips, they eventually turned into books. Where some of those characters, he started drawing animals, like squirrels and stuff. Those characters eventually found their ways into a book. And now he became a cartoonist who illustrated children's books. And then comic books. He'd have reoccurring characters. And finally there's me and NanaBOOZHOO and Sabay and Makwa and all the Benjamin, Anamosh, Paul Stanley, all these characters on our show. They're like 3-dimensional comic strip characters. Just saying funny stuff, playing whatever. And then there's the music and, I don't know. For my money, this is more artistic than anything else in the world. No. Then this is the most artistic thing he's ever done. So I don't know. I'm proud of him. Anyway. I'm not sure why I wanted to say that. But if you're new to the show, once in a while I like to come out in nature, agua ching, and put a little tobacco, say a prayer to the Great Spirit. And once in a while he actually shows up. Get you, Manadu. Will you show up on our show tonight?
Well, Nindonis,
Yeah, I thought he might be here.
I might have to make an appearance. When you say your prayer tonight, this is what I want you to do.
Okay, thy will be done. What do you want me to do?
When you start the show tonight, why don't you put out some tobacco? And you can give the tobacco to the 4 directions. And I will come and I will say hello.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, get your Manadu.
Hello, BOOZHOO crew. How are ye?
Okay. Will you give me a hand to be funny and sweet and adorable tonight?
You are always funny, sweet, and adorable, me daughter. That is how I made you.
Okay. Well, I better go home.
All right. I will see you again, me daughter. Gigawaba min, minawa nindonis.
Okay. Gigawaba min minawa. Get your Manadu. All right. Bloop.
Okay, hello, BOOZHOO.
Why are you speaking English?
I forgot my Ojibwe. Do you want me to teleport you home, sweetie?
Yeah, would you mind?
Not at all. Hang on, I'm going to scan for your coordinates.
Okay.
I'm locking in.
All right.
1 to teleport.
Make it so, number 1. No.
Hey, welcome back, baby doll.
Thanks.
How is it out there?
It's gorgeous. You teleported me all the way to Duluth.
Yeah, I wanted to throw you in one of those trails we used to walk in.
Was that Chester Bowl?
Yeah, Chester Bowl Park.
Wow. Yeah, it's pretty. It hasn't changed at all.
Yeah.
Anyway. So, how much time has that been, sweetie?
That has been exactly 1 hour and 7 minutes and 9 seconds.
Should we call it a show?
Yeah, let's call it a show.
Okay. Well, Michael, do you want to say anything before I sign out?
Tell me I said thanks, okay?
Michael Lyons would like to say thank you for watching. And we better pack up our stuff. Get ready for the big show tonight. I'm so nervous. Missy, I haven't read any of the comments in a while. But, we'll have everything ready to load up when you get here. But wish us luck. We're going to be on a live show. Little Falls, Great River Art Center. 7 o'clock. All right. If you'd like to support the show. Oh, you know what? We didn't do the commercial.
Why don't you do the Anamosh commercial?
All right.
BOOZHOO Nej Anishinaabe Doog. Hello, my fellow Anishinaabe. Anamosh Nindigenous Cause. Dog is my name. That's right, dog is my name. Anyway, Anamosh is actually my name. I just wanted to remind y'all that we do have links in the description box to our Patreon account, to Michael's Amazon page, to the GoFundMe campaign. What else we got down there? Teespring. Oh yeah. And Teespring. Also, if you'd like to support the show, give us a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Alright. I guess that's all I had to say. Now back to more.
Miigwech Ganawabi Egg. Thank you for watching BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO, the podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. I am Natasha. This is NANABOOZHOO.
Okay, miigwech.
This is Michael Lyons, the rock star cartoonist.
Thank you so much. We'll see you tonight.
And I will see you again. Gigawapa min, minawa. Hoa. Sweetums?
Sweetums. 1 to teleport. Make it so, number 1.